Well, here we are in the shop. It's been a while since I posted anything. Been pretty busy. A lot of detail items, tons of nuisance stuff. Um, just kind of keeping people up to speed on where we're at. But you can see in here, this is all bed lined with the roll-on bed liner. Inside here, I'm happy with the satin black that I've got here. And what this actually is all of this. I went over the two-part epoxy with Easy Liner spray-on bed liner. But if you don't go too hard on it, it leaves kind of a semi rough finish. Not really rough, but if you put multiple coats on, it gets rougher with each coat. So that's a great finish. Like, I can scratch this shit with a fucking screwdriver and it basically doesn't come off. So there you go, right? It's super solid. Every inch of her is done. I put the roll-on stuff along the frame rails and completely underneath. We'll go under and take a look. I painted all the suspension components with the spray-on bed liner as well. I figure why not, you know? So, yeah, everything turned out pretty good, you know, where all the patches and stuff are or were. It looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it all. Like I say, tons of little jobs that take a lot of time. Like I stripped the springs down. I had to pull the the bushings out of the springs front and rear, strip the traction bars. Unfortunately, like, you know, the traction bars probably got rusty. God knows how many years ago somebody put about a gallon of probably Tremclad or something on the traction bars and the springs. Because, I mean, hey, why not have yellow springs to match your traction bars, right? Working on the motor. That was hell. We had 4 broken exhaust studs or bolts. And the 2 front intake bolts were broken. So that was insane. Had to, of course, you know, it's not like a nice LS where you, or something with aluminum heads where you can just go ahead and weld a nut on and the aluminum expands enough to allow you to go ahead and just wind them out. No, these here I tried that. I broke off enough nuts and said, this is ridiculous. So ended up grinding them flush, center punch, drill, step up drill sizes until I could, like they weren't coming out, let's word it that way. So yeah, again, here's the other side with the bed liner. It's difficult to really see well, there you can kind of see the roughness. I didn't put it super thick and super crazy, just enough to do a decent job. I put it very thick underneath the car. But inside here, I did a little bit of the roll-on stuff until I ran out, just around, you know, seams and stuff where I wanted it. And then the rest of this is all sprayed with the spray-on, the aerosol can spray bed liner. Didn't do package tray and stuff. I just left it in the epoxy prime because that stuff's actually pretty tough. Got the roof painted gloss black. I'm probably going to do a little more on it because unfortunately I'm not going to be putting the headliner in because the rear window would have to come out, and like I said once before, I'm not interested in doing that. So we'll take a look underneath here if I can get down. Basically, she's pretty thick under here, but you know, bed liner, just beautiful stuff. the whole bottom of the car looks very good. Bed lined, obviously, up there. I did the wheel lips. You know, it probably looks like shit in most people's opinion, and I don't care. It had all the repair work done to it from when I attached the new outer wheel houses to these. There was your plug wells and stuff. It needed to be smoothed somehow, and actually that worked exceptionally well. I taped off just a little ways out and kind of brought the bed liner just a little ways onto the rocker. Not enough to affect the look too much, but it was effective and it worked well. So again, I left the dirt up the center, which, you know, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. It's all roll on through here. Where the gas tank sits, I used the spray on because I didn't want it too rough. But yeah, basically everything's good. She's all seam sealed and set up good, and we're in good shape. It's funny, the original prime on the inside of the rear valance, because I installed the valance and put really happy. So I just screwed up the video. We'll see if this is it started again, so we'll see how that goes. I stripped the rear end and the drums, stripped everything. I'm going to do the red epoxy prime on here. This again, you know, is just that nice spray-on bed liner. As you can see, we actually got the trunk lid on, and, you know, beautiful. What a difference it makes, right? Trunk lid's on, rear valance is on, bumper's on. I got to do the probably tail lights and stuff next. We're just starting, like I say, starting assembly. Starting to get things rolling here. So I also bed lined. I haven't got my my rods installed yet in the trunk, which means that I have to there's one of them and I can't find the other one. So again, this is all bed line in here, up until just a little ways up into the wheel houses, and then from there up in the wheel houses and everywhere else in here and along the sides, and there's bed line down in these sections where, you know, anywhere where it could or will rust at some point. I tried to use the roll-on heavy-duty stuff, but yeah, very happy with it. That's a new trunk lid that they had put on before I bought it. They had cut the rubber, and of course it's not correct, as you can see. So it's going to sit like that, and actually the lip right along the very bottom here isn't all there correctly either to tuck the rubber in, so I actually had to glue the bottom for now. That's, you know, that's future projects that I can work on. And you know, this is one of those never-ending, never-done kind of deals. Like I say, broken bolts everywhere in the motor, working on those. Obviously cleaned up the shop like 8%, maybe 10. And now I'm starting to go through the bolts and nuts and stuff. I had 3 broken bolts on this unit here. So that's just for the power steering. That's the truck accessories that I'm using on it. I got to get a heater core and a blower motor. That blower motor hardly turns over. There's the battery tray. It's been bed lined as well. Pretty much everything's going to be bed liner, you know, as far as stuff that needs to be flat or semi-gloss. It's super tough, and there isn't anything any better I can do without spending a lot of money and like literally mixing everything up and putting it in a can properly. So next week I have all of the parts for the rear end, all the bushings, all new U-bolts, new bolts to mount everything. I will install, that's a brand new gas tank. I'm going to paint it, maybe with bed liner. Yes, I love that stuff, as you can tell. So I'm going to get it installed, but I have new bolts coming for it. They're kind of a funky, almost like a carriage bolt. Got all my interior stuff here, brand new seats, well, seat covers, and all my parts and my front valance. So the front end has been fitted now. It's going to be fine, should be fine, quote unquote. I got all new rubbers, new bumpers, new stops for all the hood and everywhere around here. I'm going to reuse these screens that go in here. They're a little warped and a little old looking. But you know, you gotta call it, like, where do you call it, right? I mean, I can replace everything right now. And yes, I'd like to get a new set of those. They make nice replacements for them. But, you know, like I say, where does it stop for this go around, I'll call it. Essentially, I'm thinking, you know, stuff like those vent screens and shit, you know, later on I will gladly get a set of those and put them in. And that's the kind of stuff that isn't super expensive, just to keep, just to fiddle with as time goes by, you know. And, you know, I need stuff to do anyways, so once this is on the road. So, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, just a real quick update, where we're at, what we're doing. Get those taillights in, hopefully, and like once I get the tank in, then I can get the honeycomb across the back and get everything looking good. And like I say, a lot of parts coming. I got brake lines, pre-bent brake lines coming. I've got new rubber hoses for the brake lines coming. I've got oh geez, everything, like tons of motor parts. I've already got a ton of motor parts in. I got a air gap, RPM air gap intake for the 302. I got the front sump oil pan. I actually got the front sump pickup. I got the Remflex gaskets, just planning ahead, right? Don't want header leaks later. I don't know. Literally, I've got the hangers for your exhaust, right? I'm going to use those. And I actually got one package of 2.5-inch mandrel bent exhaust for it. So, and on it goes, right? So, things are happening. I got to clean up and finish the heater box, get it in, and basically, there's my tank straps. So, once the heater box is in, realistically, I would say at that point I can reassemble the dash and start putting the interior together, I suppose. So, yeah. But looking good. Good enough. I mean, it's just, again, just a cruiser for anybody new here. But it's cool too. I actually have, I wasn't sure if I had them, and thank goodness I do. All these rubbers around here, like this car was originally red and obviously been repainted black and God knows how many times. All these rubbers I've got new, came with the car. I've got the new window felts for here, came with the car. I actually didn't even know I had them until today. I probably did, you know, a year or two ago, or a year ago when I bought it, or a year and a half. But I forgot, so I was like, hey, look at that. I even got those, so pretty exciting-ish. I got to get these rubbers for here. They just push into there, basically, so I'll get a set of those. I'm going to have to get some quarter windows because I've never really shown it, but I'm sure people have noticed. Just this wonderful 1970s high school kid with his first engraver. That's fucking cool, let me tell you what. So, and what I might do in the meantime, I did find a guy local that has a ton of parts, and I'm going to see what he wants for a set of windows. But if it's too ridiculous, I'll probably put a Ford Motorsport sticker or something over this just for now. But either way, most of the time we're driving in it, we'll have the windows down. But that is pretty silly looking. But yeah, step by step, bit by bit, just still going. And realistically, I don't know if you saw my early videos when I bought this car and when I cut into this car and how far we've gone with this car. This is just phenomenal. I am super happy that I never really thought it would even come out this good. And, you know, it's far from perfect, and it'll be perfect from afar, but there you go. She's coming together.